What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello, my friends. What's up? I'm back with you again, still outside on yet another blusterous day here in Inwood Hill Park. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G, and this is Midday Monologue Monday. I do videos every day of the week, every day, and every Monday you can spot one of these videos here. Now, I want to talk about something in Dungeons and Dragons that I don't really see talked about a lot. It's a minor point, it's a little thing, but it's a curious thing, nonetheless. And I wonder where you stand on this, or if where you stand on this is kind of determined on certain things, right? Maybe not be one hard, fast answer. I get that. And what I'm talking about is your character. Well, specifically your character sheet. Is it a sheet even? You see, that's the point of this. What do you use to keep track of things? So, like, in the old days, before I even started, when I was a kid, before I even started, Xeroxing, showing my age here. Before I even started Xeroxing character sheets to make more, I used an index card. We just wrote them down on big-ass index cards, all the information we needed. But then again, that was basic Dungeons & Dragons, so there wasn't a lot you needed to keep track of. By the time we were playing Advanced, when that rolled out, you definitely needed a copy of that character sheet. Xerox copy or otherwise. You could go buy them, a book of them, but then you ended up copying them anyway, so you didn't have to buy a second book. And back then, it seemed like that's all you really needed. Pretty much all the information that you could keep track of, you would need to keep track of, you could even imagine you would want to keep track of, is going to be fit on the front of the back of the sheet. But then things got a lot more complicated, didn't they? There was a lot more information you needed to keep track of that was going on. And because of that, some of the things, they started growing. I think that's a good word for it. They started growing. And one of the things I've noticed after graduating from index cards to actual character sheets is that they started coming out with, and this is around about 25 years ago or so, right? Maybe before, but I started noticing around the time 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons made its debut, and we started seeing whole folios, like folders that you had. So you weren't just, you had like up to like 6 sheets, basically. It was a 6-sheet character folio folder. And man, on one hand, it was really great, right? Because you had space for your spells, psionics, all your magical items, like one whole page just for notes. You had a page for family stuff, NPC stuff. Man, you were keeping track of more shit than you realized you ever really needed to keep track of before. It did help make your character feel fuller. That it definitely did. And I thought that was going to be about it. I mean, really? Did you need more than a folder? A folio worth of character sheet stuff? But then, when I started seeing, I saw a few people selling it. I think it's mostly an Etsy thing, to tell you the truth. I'm trying to think. I don't recall seeing anything sold specifically from any licensed official marketplace here. But I'm talking about books. Journal books, empty character journal books. And in it, some of the pages, I mean, these things look amazing, right? Some of the pages look like a blank, kind of generic RPG character sheet that you can use to write down all the information for your character. And then all the other information that you find in the folio sheets, right? Your background information, spell information. But then they also have like graph note paper stuff. They also have a graph notes so you can keep track of map making in the game, which is really fun, which is really good. But exclusive notes sections, even areas for drawing on it. They really completely advanced. They take the idea of the folio and the folder and they exploded it out. It's huge. But now I like the character sheet, right? Well, tell you the truth, if your game is basic enough, I'm not talking about just basic D&D, but if it's basic enough, like basic D&D, 4 Against Darkness, Dungeon Crawl Classics, things like that, then yeah, you can definitely use something like an index card, maybe a larger size, but still an index card can be used. And that's fun, right? But yeah, you always feel like you want that character sheet. It's a little more official, looks nicer. We like a little eye candy. But at least those things, and even the folder folios, they seem easily disposable. Easily disposable. While the book, a journal, once you start that for a specific character, if you only get a third of the way through it and something happens, the campaign falls apart, too many people end up leaving, so a new game is started, your character dies. Yeah, that happens. Characters die, get over it. But then what the hell are you going to do with this book? You just went on Etsy and you spent $20, $25 to get this good character book. Now, first of all, don't tell me you were fool enough to use ink filling it out, were you? But even if you used pencil, my God, yeah, how many pages? How much stuff do you need to erase? I mean, I guarantee you that that's the case. This is not going to be enough to erase everything. So then it feels like a waste to me. I absolutely love the look of these books, especially when you get the nice embossed ones going. I mean, I love them for my DM journals, but to use for a player character, that seems like a waste. I don't think you're going to get through the damn journal book before the character dies, retires, the campaign ends, games change. That's what I see happening. Hell, even as a DM, the amount of DM journals that I've had to throw out because one thing or another got ruined or changed, I mean, that's pittance next to how many changes I can imagine as a player. But still, they look nice, don't they? Those books. I get it. I get the drawer. I get the feel. I get how it compels you, right? That you want this. It looks nice. Especially if the other players don't have them, right? Yeah, you get that kind of little feeling of snobby and superiority. I get that too. But is it practical? Yeah, again, character sheets, even index cards, probably the most perfect you can go for. But I really do like the folders. Folios, a little bit better. So there's a difference between a folder and a folio. And ultimately, that's the way I like to go. At the very least, put the character sheets in a folder. At the very most, have them in a folio. Too many F's. With the plastic sleeves that they all sit in nice. And if you're doing that with the plastic sleeves, then another thing I like to do is to use sticky pad notes. And on Etsy, it's Amazon, I did find some Dungeons & Dragons inspired sticky notes. If you really wanted to, I guess you could probably also use some dry erase on the clear plastic for a folio. That could work too. And it looks nice. It presents beautifully. And if anything happens, it's very easy to change out. Wow. A character journal? Now, how great that looks. I just can't get into it. It seems like it's ultimately going to be a waste. There's going to be more stuff unused than used in that. All right. I think I've dedicated more than enough time trying to figure out what's best, what I like best, between sheets, folder folios, and whole character journals. What do you use? And besides, what do you use? Like me, maybe you use a folder, but you really love the book. I mean, right? Tell us that too. Maybe you understand, like me, why you don't want to use a character journal book. But what is it? Ultimately, what is it that you like using for your character? Put it down in the comments. Let us know. Let's talk about it. And thank you for joining me, your buddy Big Johnny G, here at Two Gun Pixies Midday Monologue. And I am out of here.